Live, as usual, with Michael Buerk.
Good evening. Jimmy Savile was a star for our times. He had no discernible talent. On the screen he was almost totally inarticulate and irritating. Off the screen either remote or obnoxious. In a rebellious age, young people appeared to like him, mainly because he was everything their parents detested. The BBC, as ever institutionally tormented about losing touch with youth, made him a celebrity and a fortune. He gave most of it away to charity, and, a loner with no friends, spent much of his time raising millions more, which even people like me who disliked him had to acknowledge. He was an institution when, as it now turns out, he should have been in one. The crimes he's posthumously accused of were vile, using his fame and charitable works to debauch young, often desperately vulnerable girls. In a few short weeks, the name Jimmy Savile has become a byword for evil in an almost 17th century kind of moral frenzy. His gravestone, consigned to landfill, even demands his body be dug up, burnt and scattered. Is that all there is to say about him? Do the terrible things it seems he did completely wipe out the achievements, the £40 million worth of charity he raised? Is whatever good we achieve at risk of moral contamination by the bad? We've just walked into Broadcasting House, past the great sculptures of Eric Gill, who had sex with his daughters and even his dog. Should his works, they include the Stations of the Cross at Westminster Cathedral, go into landfill along with Jimmy Savile's gravestone? How should we balance the legacy of good and evil? That's our moral maze tonight. The panel: Melanie Phillips, social commentator on the Daily Mail; Claire Fox from the Institute of Ideas; the science historian Kenan Malik; and newcomer to the panel, Giles Fraser, famously former Canon Chancellor at St Paul's Cathedral, now parish priest at St Mary's, Newington. Well, start with you, Giles Fraser. I see Jim will fix it badges selling for £100 on eBay. What does that tell us?
It tells us that we live in a bloody sick world, is what it tells us, and it tells us also that it's more than just about Jimmy Savile. It's about our whole culture needing to look in the mirror.
Melanie Phillips?
Yes, I think that the eBay thing is sick. Savile's crimes were sick. The fact that so many people knew and did nothing is sick. And I think the whole sorry saga tells us that this society is one in which moral codes have just gone by the board.
Claire Fox?
Well, the way things are going, there's going to be an investigation into the people who are selling those badges, and they're going to have their finger pointed at them, and they're going to be tainted by association with Jimmy Savile. Actually, what's happened is fairly harmless. I don't care about that. I am worried about the way that everyone is tainted by any association with him.
Okay, thank you, panel. Our first witness is Joe Summers, who's... Oh, I'm sorry, Ken. Come on, tell us what you think.
I was going to say that there's something medieval about the idea that everything that Jimmy Savile touched or bad people touch is somehow tainted or is glamorously evil, but I think that might be to do a disservice to the Middle Ages.
Okay, thank you, panel. As I was saying, our first witness is Joe Summers, who's a partner at PWT Advice Solicitors for the trustees of the two charitable trusts that Jimmy Savile established. What are people saying should be done with these charities, and what principles do you think should the trustees apply, moral as well as legal, in deciding what to do?
It's a good question. We are getting a lot of suggestions from the public. Interestingly, a mixture. We're getting people saying you should change the name of the charity, drop the Savile name. Other people saying you should wind the charities up and distribute the money. Yet, just today I was answering emails from people saying you should carry on. You shouldn't let the legacy of these allegations actually taint what you're doing. You're doing good work and you should carry that on. And we've had people say to us, how dare you even think of contemplate changing the name? You're acting as judge, jury and executioner. You shouldn't do that. And yet other people sending us emails with the letters so big it fills the screen saying change the name now. So there are a lot of high feelings running out there. We're aware of that.
Okay, Melanie Phillips.
And any clues about how the trustees are likely to come down on these difficult questions?
We're meeting next week to discuss it all. The trustees are very conscious of the fact that the money they've received has not just been from Jimmy Savile. A lot of the money received by the trust is from other donors, people who